Hi everybody, Patty Ann here. Hang on. I just got in from walking, taking my dog for a walk. She loves going for a walk in the woods, as do I. And I was thinking while I was walking about a project that maybe we can work on together. What I'm going to do, let me get a few products out to show you, is I thought I could go over with you how to make your own not HTV, but HTC heat transfer cloth. Okay, y'all probably know how to do this already, but just in case you don't, I thought I'd go over it with you. So look down here and I'll show you a few products that can be useful or that you'll need to have. The first one is this one. It's called Heat and Bond, and this one's the Ultra Hold one. This one is one if you do not want to sew. You see where it says no sewing over here? If you don't want to have any sewing whatsoever. So what this one could be really good for is maybe you're going to go to Hobby Lobby or somewhere like that. And by the way, you can buy these products at Hobby Lobby or at Joann's or probably Walmart. But anyway, if you were going to make a bag for this summer, for your kids to go to the pool, go to the beach, go to the park, you could personalize their bag with their initials or some little picture that they like. And I would use this product, the one that you don't have to sew, if I was putting it onto a little canvas bag. So that's Heat and Bond, and that's the Stronghold one. Now if you look down here, I also use oftentimes this one that's called Heat and Bond Light. Here it is, Heat and Bond Light, because I also do embroidery, and I like to sew a lot. You can probably see some of the fabric behind me sometimes. But anyway, this one's washable also, but this one's probably better, and it says it's good for wearable arts. So I'm not sure if you really have to sew this on or not, but I usually do. Now, I have several different sewing machines. I even have a treadle sewing machine. But so you can use any kind of machine you want. On this one, what I did was I used the Heat and Bond Light, and then I did the blanket stitch around the bird. It's not finished yet. He still needs his little button eyeball and stuff. And you see I was just practicing free motion sewing. But of course, if you don't like to do the blanket stitch, you could just do a zigzag stitch around it. Or you could even just do a straight stitch around it. And if the edges ravel a little bit, that's okay. That's sort of a shabby chic look. Some people like to even go around several times with just regular stitching to make it kind of artsy looking. But anyway, something I was thinking that could be cute was on that bag, if you make one for your kid, a little boy might like his name out of fabric like this. Whoops, it's upside down, isn't it? There you go. I think that'd be super cute. Super cute. Okay, and so there's lots of stuff. I've got tons of stuff back there that could be for little girls too. The other thing I was thinking was maybe if you do like to sew, you could get some of this product called Insulbrite. And what this is, it's like a batting, but it has a metal in it. And you can't use it in the microwave, but it's for pot holders, and that keeps you from burning your fingers. You put it in the middle of pot holders. And the good thing about it is right here, if you'd like to make a mitt for somebody, they have a pattern right here in the instructions here. But I thought that'd be kind of a cute Mother's Day gift or a gift for a friend. And you could, you know, put flowers on it if your mom liked flowers, or you could put mom or her initials or whatever you'd like to do. But this is another thing that you could use to applique or to do your HTC, heat transfer cloth. Okay, I'm here in Design Space, and this is the name I'm going to use. It's Alicia, and I've used the font of Cricut Sans Bold. Okay, I don't like how much spacing there is between the Y and the S, so I am going to adjust that. Let's see, I think I'll go to Advanced and Ungroup to Letters. And then I could move each letter individually, or I could probably just move this group over. There we go. Yeah, I like it better like that. Okay, so I'm ready to make it. Oh, look what's wrong. Let's cancel that. I need to highlight them all and attach them so they stay where they're supposed to be. And now I can make it. And now I'll get my fabric ready and I'll show you how I do that. Okay, to get ready, I have my cloth here and I have my ultra strong heat and bond. I've cut the fabric to 10 1/4 by 5 1/4, and I cut the heat and bond to 10 by 5 because I wanted this to be a little bit smaller so I don't get it on my ironing surface. Okay, so now I'm going to turn this upside down and I'm going to take the heat and bond, and there's one side that's kind of rough. That's the gluey side. The other side just feels like regular paper. So you want the glue side to glue down onto the back of your cloth. So, and I like to line it up near the top and the left. And then what it says to do is take your iron and only do it for 1 or 2 seconds. I've made that mistake before where I overheated it, both in this step and when I was adhering it to my final project, and that messes it up. It doesn't stick as well. So you're just supposed to do it for 1 or 2 seconds, just so it adheres, and that should be about it. Okay, and by the way, I just wanted to tell you this fabric, if you're interested, it's a Michael Miller fabric. No big deal. All right, then you're supposed to let this cool. And that's another thing you must make sure that you do. You let it cool a little bit. Isn't it pretty? Like it. I think it would look prettier on the black. No, it's too much. Okay, so now I'm going to peel this off. And if I adhered it long enough, which, there we go. Maybe not on this very edge did I do it. Oh yeah, good. So this piece I don't need anymore. So now what I do is I take my green mat that's very sticky. Got some junk on it I should have cleaned off first. Okay. And then I'm just going to put it up here in the upper left-hand corner pretty well. And make sure it's really smoothed down well. I actually have a little popsicle stick that I use over there to just go shh. Or you could use your little brayer that you have, or that little scrapey tool that we get from Cricut. So then I'm going to go over to my Cricut machine. I already have the little dial on top put to bonded fabric. So I'll go over there and I'll be right back after I cut. Okay, I can already tell right off the bat that I'm not crazy with how this cut. So I'm thinking I'm going to try it again after I show you how this turns out. And on one side, I'm going to use this product called Material Magic. It's a starch. It's expensive. This one here costs $14.99 for this little bottle. So I'm going to try that on one side. And then on the other side, I'm going to use this spray starch that you can get at Walmart that's very inexpensive, and I actually really love the smell of it. But anyway, I'm going to try this spray starch on the other side. But let's just take a look right now and see how this did turn out. See, this isn't cutting all the way through. Yeah. No, this didn't work well at all. So I'm not, well, it's not that bad, I guess. Just the A didn't work out very well. It's really bad. Nah, I just don't think it worked well at all. So I'm going to try again. Okay, I'm not sure if any of you have ever used this stuff called Material Magic, but it's a fabric stabilizer. And I've worked at a quilt store, and we didn't quite always follow the directions for using this, but it still works well. I would recommend you follow the directions. So, but let me just show you the difference. This side, can you hear that? Has been processed with the Material Magic. This side has not. So look at this side. It's almost like paper now, and this side's still really loose like cloth. So as I said, I was going to do one side with Material Magic and one side, this one here, with this Niagara starch from Walmart, which I love the smell of, like I said. Oh, there we go. Have it on. There we go. Ooh. All right. Let me get this one all starched up too. Now, even though I've put starch on this side over here, the Niagara starch, it won't be nearly as board-like or paper-like as the Material Magic side. But I think it's a good alternative to using Mary Ellen's Best Press, which is a lot more expensive than the Niagara. So actually there's not, okay, you can see that's, now it's better, but it's not like this stuff. Like I can hold this over here and this, anyway. So now I'm ready to put my heat and bond on the back. So again, I'm going to turn this over and I'm going to put the bumpy side down because that's the glue side. Put it down on top here, or on the back of my fabric. And again, 1 chimpanzee 2, 1 chimpanzee 2, 1 chimpanzee 2. So that should be enough. Remember, it said don't overdo it. So I'm trying to follow those directions. Then it says to let it cool. And let's see. Oh, it's really hot. Wow. So I'm going to get my mat back out. I still haven't cleaned it off. Okay, let's see. Feels pretty good now. Let's peel. Okay, you can see. I don't know if you can see, but this is shiny. Or it's a different color. You can probably tell this and this. Where the heat and bond has adhered. So now I'm going to put it up in the upper left hand corner. The left hand side is the one I used off the Material Magic, and the other one was the Niagara. I am going to make sure that I get this put down well. Okay, and then I'm going to take it over to my machine and I'll be right back to show you how well this one does. Okay, it's been cut out. This side over here with the capital A was the Material Magic side, and this side over here with the lowercase a was the Niagara side. It looks better right off the bat. Let's see how much better it does when I weed it. Look at this. This is gorgeous. Now this is nice. So let's hope it's the same way when we get to the Niagara, because I don't think they certainly want to be having to buy that really expensive Material Magic for this. Let's see, I have this little handy dandy tool that I can use to weed this little part out. There we go. There and there. This is a pen. It's a pen, and rather than having a pen tip here, ooh, my fingers are black, it has a pin. It's really good for weeding, especially for vinyl. Okay, so that turned out perfectly. I'm really happy with that. So the next thing I have to do is just take these off of here carefully, and then I'm going to iron them on to my pant leg, just because these are just tests for you and me so we can see how they work. And by the way, I think I can say that for this other one that I had done, this guy right here, that has the name Carter on it, I didn't have to use the spray starch on that one. So it might have to do with how thin or heavy the fabric is you're using. So that's why it's always good to do a test before you do your final project, so that you know how it's going to turn out. So I will do this. And let me cut off a pair. You know what? I'll just put it on the other side of this Carter one, since it's just a sample. So let's see. I wonder if it's going to fit. L, Y, S, I, eye with a dot. There's a string on the eye, 2 strings that there really weren't any on the Tyrrell Magic side, but those could be trimmed off easily. Okay, now I can use a piece of paper if I want to. Not a piece of paper, but that Teflon. Or you can use the shiny side of the release paper, or whatever it was called. So let's see, my iron's not hot anymore, darn it. So let's wait while that iron heats up for just a sec. And let me double check. It says to place the material right side up in the desired position and iron for 4 to 6 seconds. And it says if you're using a heavier material, you may need to iron it longer, but you know, ours was really thin. But it does say don't sew, and it says don't overheat. So if you overheat, I think that messes up the stickiness of it, and it won't be as permanent as it should be. So I'm going to start my chimpanzee talking again. So this is just about hot enough. I get impatient. It's hard to wait. I think I'll go. All right. Chimpanzee 1, chimpanzee 2, chimpanzee 3, chimpanzee 4, chimpanzee 5, chimpanzee 6. And move over this way. Chimpanzee 1, chimpanzee 2, chimpanzee 3, chimpanzee 4, chimpanzee 5, chimpanzee 6. I just realized I don't have my ironing board under here. I hope I'm not melting my mat. All right. That should be done. I'm a little bit scared. Oh, I let my Y move, darn it. But after I went to all that trouble to make them better. All right. So there you have it. And unfortunately I did that. But like I said, this is just a test, so it's not a big deal. But anyway, so that's it. It's pretty easy. Again, if you're using a really thin fabric, and this fabric is thin, you may want to use the Niagara Spray Starch. Try that, or Mary Ellen's Best Press. And if you really want to use a specific fabric and you can't get it to work, go for the Tyrrell Magic. But like I said, for those other fabrics, I didn't even need to use anything. For either this one that was the light Heat and Bond Light, and the one that had, on the other side of this, Carter. So neither one of those needed anything. But this one, since it was thin, needed a little stabilizer. So I said, where I used the Niagara, there's a few little strings here, but those would be easy to cut off. Or like that. So I think that turned out really nice. So this is how you can make your own, what did I call it? HTC. Heat transfer cloth. Anyway, thanks for joining me, you guys. Have a nice Easter. Bye-bye.